back. In Unit 6, we will be looking at changing diets to change the food system. By now, we have seen that to improve nutrition and avoid negative consequences, it is necessary to transform the food system considering all dimensions and their interrelatedness. This is consistent with the theory of complex systems, which tells us that each individual part affects all the others. This unit deals with consumers or eaters and their eating behaviors, which are at the heart of the food system. Eating behavior influences the food environment and food production at the same way as demand influences supply in the market. Economic interests drive producers to meet the preferences of consumers or to create demand for a particular product or service. From this, it follows that if consumers change their diets and dietary practices, the rest of the food system would change as well. However, there are some caveats to this. First of all, diets are influenced by a complex interaction of individual and interpersonal factors, so changing diets is no easy task. The food environment conditions and influences access to food, resources, and information, and shapes our experience with food, and thus influences dietary behavior in complex ways. We will look further into this in Unit 7. Also, food supply influences availability and stability as well as our perception of the food available. So it is a two-way street. Consumers are an integral part of the food system. However, since we as eaters are part of the system, we function as such. While the rest of the food system influences our behaviors also influences the rest of the food system. There are multiple possible entry points to address the consumer perspective of food systems, but in all cases, we must start by gaining a good understanding of who the eaters or consumers we are trying to support are, what issues they face, what behaviors are contributing or addressing those issues, what drives their eating behaviors, their attitudes, skills, goals, or aspirations. Food choice and diet-related behaviors are influenced by many factors, some of which are biologically determined, others that are related to our experiences with food, even others that have to do with our perceptions, our attitudes or beliefs, and with our relationships with the people close to us. And finally, also those that are related to the physical, social, cultural, and economic and informational environments that surround us. For example, it has been found that humans have an innate preference for the sweet taste that is biologically predetermined. However, if I had a bad experience with a particular sweet food, I may stop liking that food. Or if I am concerned about getting diabetes, I may avoid many sweet foods. Still, my best friend may invite me for tea and dessert, and because of the relationship, I may that day have a piece of cake. At the same time, the type of cake that we share may be determined by my culture, my friend's income or time availability, by the ingredients available or their stores nearby, and the price of cakes in the store that my friend or I chose. In addition, my friend may have seen advertising or may have received a recommendation, that is, information that may have shaped what she chose to serve. Finally, public policy may also influence my behavior. If the government decided to include food and nutrition education in all public schools, provided subsidies to strawberry producers, or had a policy to phase out trans fats, I may end up having a slice of strawberry tart instead of cake made with shortening full of trans fats. Because consumer behavior is influenced by a myriad of complex and interlinked factors at different levels, actions, and other levels that can also influence food choice and diet-related behaviors. For instance, at the food environment level, Using choice architecture, that is, organizing the context in which people make decisions, can nudge people towards one option above another. One example is placing the preferred item in a location where it most likely will be chosen, that is, at eye level in the shelf or by the cashier at the store, or making one behavior the easiest to carry out. At the food supply level, food availability, accessibility, and stability shape the universe of possible food choices from which a consumer can choose. One way to support consumers is through food and nutrition education. Food and nutrition education is effective when it focuses on helping people develop lifelong healthy eating practices and outlooks. It also is effective when it strengthens their capacity to change and to adapt to external change, pass on their learning to others, and empower people to become active participants in shaping the food system to deliver healthy and sustainable diets. Food and nutrition education involves increasing people's motivations, abilities, and supportive environments to take action. Food and nutrition education can be applied not only in schools, but also in communities and other settings. Other approaches for this purpose include social behavior change communication, social marketing, and health promotion, among others. All of these are very similar in scope, although they may emphasize different aspects. However, it is important to note that dietary behavior change cannot be imposed from the outside, and that there is a thin line between transparent nudging and manipulation. In this unit, we explore the concept of agency as the sixth pillar of food security. Agency that refers to the capacity of individuals or groups to make their own decisions about what foods they eat, what foods they produce, how that food is produced, processed, and distributed within food systems, and their ability to engage in processes that shape food system policies and governance. This is from the high-level panel expert document number 15. Thank you.